Paki-contact daw sa mga classmate niyo kay hapit ang 9:30. Paliog ko.
Yes, sir.
Morning, Sir Clyde.
Good morning, sir, ma'am, students. Good morning.
Ako ang i-mute.
May buntag.
Good morning, Ma'am Shen.
Good morning.
Good morning. Pwede na siguro siya magsugod, no? Kay murag daghan-daghan naman ta. 59 naman ta kabuo. So may I ask, Laimi, is Miss Pisa around? Miss Laimi? Happy New Year, Sir Chris. Wala si Laimi. Hello? Madungog ko, dili. Siguro ko audio.
Madungog, ma'am.
Madungog man, ma'am.
Wala lang yun si wala si Laimi.
Natawagan.
Natawagan pag yun. Sige, ano na lang, Jen. Ay, ikaw na lang, Jan. Kindly lead the prayer,
Okay.
Jan. Salamat.
Let us feel God's presence among us in the name of the Father, and of the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. Lord, guide us today for our orientation. Help us and always lead us to safety. In Jesus' name we pray, amen. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy
Amen.
Spirit, amen.
Amen. Once again, good morning and Happy New Year to everyone. Praise be Jesus and Mary.
Now and
Now and
forever.
Now and forever.
Now and forever.
Now and forever.
So, I would like to acknowledge the presence of our academic coordinator, Sir Ian Benablo. Good morning, sir. And also,
Morning, ma'am. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning, sir. Okay. And also to all the CCS faculty, Ma'am Shena. Hi, Ma'am Shen. Sir Clyde and Sir Chris, and also Ma'am Christine. Good morning.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
So,
May buntag.
I would also like to welcome all the participants, the parents, the guardians, and the students to this school year's OJT Orientation and Consultation. Okay? Sayang no, because not all the parents were able to join the orientation today. Okay? Please also don't forget to register on the link provided in the chat box for your attendance. Okay? Now, supposedly, our schedule was June 16, but it was moved to an earlier date to give way for the Capstone project final defense. That's why, unfortunately, our Dean, Sir Eric, cannot join the orientation today because he has a prior commitment. Okay? So, I'll present first the screen. Kita naman, no?
Yes,
Can you see my screen? Salamat. Tingo-tingo po gamay, ha? Para kabalo po. Okay. So, the orientation today addresses the following topics. Okay, so we have 10 topics. The first 8 topics will be handled by me. Okay, and then Sir Beltran will discuss the joint memorandum circular. And the last one will be discussed by Ma'am Cheryl. However, Ma'am Cheryl is not available today, so we will just set it separately. She will only discuss it with the students. And then Ma'am Cheryl will, together with Ma'am Ima, will meet the students tomorrow, January 5 at 10 a.m. So they will talk about telemedicine and psychological testing. So I will also send the link later. Anyone, okay. So what will be the rule for our this orientation? So anyone may ask question anytime. Just raise your hand to be acknowledged, or you may write your questions in the chat box. Okay, we encourage all participants, especially the students, to ask questions. Pwede mag-Bisaya or pwede mag-Tagalog. Okay? Basta kailangan, if you have clarification, please don't hesitate to ask questions or clarification. Okay, so let's talk about the first topic, which is about the OJT important documents and schedule. So all the essential documents listed here will be... Yes, Ma'am Christine.
Nanette, sorry. May we
Yes.
request the presentation to be on a full screen?
Wala siya naka-full screen, ma'am. Wait lang.
Wala ma'am.
Naka-PDF mo siya. Wait lang. Anak, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Okay na po.
Okay. Okay, so all the essential documents listed here will be provided and processed and notarized. Sorry, and notarized by the college. Okay, so we will do everything. Okay, so ang gawin lang is the parents and the guardians and the students must sign the contract and the consent. Okay, there are two options in signing the documents kasi we are, most of us are working from home. Tapos, limited lang ang face-to-face. Okay, so there are two ways. So, the first option is that we will send the parents' consent and OJT agreement via email. Now, the electronic signatures will be accepted if you send an email verifying the validity of your signature using your official email account. And then the second option would be that the contract will be sent via email, and then you print the hard copy of the document, and then you affix your signature. And then you send it via courier. Okay, so any questions so far? Wala. So, what if daw, ako na lang mag-question, what if ma'am walay printer sa balay or walay computer? So, we can also send a hard copy of the contract via courier, and you will send it back to us. Pwede siya hard copy diretso. Or yung second option natin na isend siya via email, and then you affix your signature, you print, and then you affix a signature, and then you send it back via courier. Okay? So let's continue.
Ma'am, question.
Yes.
Ang katong sa
Yes,
parents na signature, ma'am, kay parent na email ang gamiton, ma'am, or pwede isabay lang sa amo as students, ma'am?
Pwede siya sa inyong Gmail account na lang ang gamiton.
Okay, ma'am. Basta official na account.
Okay. Okay.
Yun, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay. So, what are the highlights of the OJT agreement? So, what are those written, or what are the provisions in the OJT agreement na pipirmahan din ng student as well as the parents? Okay? So, these are the key points that are stipulated in the OJT agreement between UICCCS and the student interns. Okay. The student intern must complete a maximum of 486 hours within 4 months. So, if you start, ang start ng semester natin is January, February, March, until April. Okay? And then, the number of OJTRs will be lessened if the student trainee will submit certificates for crediting. Okay? Another highlight in the agreement is that a copy of, wait lang ha, before that pala, you should also bring a copy of the certificate during the assessment day. But you submit a copy in a classroom, but the original certificate should be presented during the assessment day for the verification of the said certificates for final crediting. Okay? The college will provide a pool of host training establishment. So meron na tayong mga list of HTEs. So these HTEs are duly registered with the appropriate authorities such as DTI, SEC, LGU, and many others. Okay. The host training establishment will provide an alternative flexible internship program because of the pandemic. Meron na tayong flexible mode of training. Before kasi, face-to-face talaga ang training. Okay. So during the internship period, the student trainee will be covered with accident insurance. So before the student trainee is deployed, they must secure PhilHealth insurance. The PhilHealth insurance is one of the requirements when you apply for an actual job later. But parang na-fast track lang siya because one of the requirement ni CHED is to for the student trainee to get health insurance. So kailangan siya in the pre-deployment of before the deployment of the student. Okay? The college and the HTE will have their own OJT coordinator for easy and faster communication because ang coordination ng company between the company and the college will be between the coordinator of HTE and the coordinator of the college. Okay? HTE will issue a certificate of completion within 1 week following the end of the OJT. Next is that the student interns, parents or guardians must sign the consent. Again, an electronic signature is acceptable if accompanied by a confirmation email. Okay? So, the student interns obligations, wala pa nag-move.
Wala pa, ma'am.
Okay, wait lang ha, murag hinay ang net. Okay, to continue, the student interns, okay, wala pa gyapon nag-move. Hinay ka akong net. Okay, so let's continue. Student intern requirements, obligations, or responsibilities, violations, and sanctions. Under CMO 104, series of 2017, the revised guidelines for student internship program for all programs, amending CHED Memorandum Order number 23, series of 2009, are hereby adopted for the information, guidance, and compliance. Nga, wala pa nagabalhin ang ako ang slide. Wait lang ha. I'll check my connection. Okay na. So let's start with the requirements. Okay. The requirements of the student intern as stipulated in section 16 are as follows. Okay. A student intern must be officially enrolled in a legitimate Philippine higher education institution and enrolled in an internship subject for you to be considered as a student intern. Okay. Next, you must be at least 18 years old from the start of the internship period and pass the pre-internship requirements as specified in the internship plan. Number 4 requirement, you must submit a medical certificate from any DOH accredited clinics and hospitals. Okay, the medical certificate must indicate that the student is physically and mentally fit. Okay, Ma'am Cheryl, our school nurse, will discuss tomorrow how you can avail of the telemedicine to issue your medical certificate, and the psychological testing will also be discussed tomorrow by Ma'am Ima because the psychological testing will be done online. So we will also give schedules kung kailan kayo mag-take ng psychological tests. Okay? Next, student trainees must submit written consent from their parents or legal guardians, and then the college will be the ones to notarize the document. So, kailangan lang mapirmahan lahat ng mga documents and then we will do the rest. Okay, the college will shoulder the fees for the notarization and the processing of your documents. Okay? Any questions so far?
Ano ma'am?
None, ma'am.
Okay, wait lang ha, kaya wala na siya nag-move. Okay. So what are the obligations and responsibilities of the student intern? Number 1, the student intern must enter into an internship contract and agreement with the HTE. Number 2, sign all the documents necessary in the internship program such as acceptance letter, internship contract, and agreement. Number 3, comply with the provisions of the contract and or agreement, including the rules and regulations of the HEI, HTE, and CHED at all times. Number 4, must undergo OJT orientation conducted by HEI and HTE. So this is our orientation na kailangan siya and it is an obligation and responsibility of a student intern. And then during the internship proper, HTI will also conduct its own orientation so that you would know the rules and regulation of the company. Okay? Number 5, report for internship in the HTE based on the schedule indicated in the contract. Number 6, perform tasks and activities indicated in the internship program. Number 7, maintain confidentiality when and where appropriate. Especially if you are in a company na marami silang mga secrets, tapos you are not allowed to divulge anything about the company. Okay, number 8, adhere to the existing rules and regulation of the HTE, and then you need to submit an internship journal. Okay? Any questions so far? Wala? Wala pa nag-move akong slide. Okay. So, number 10, complete the agreed duration of their internship program So meaning to say, if the student will be unable to finish his or her internship within the designated period, the student should inform the OJT coordinator in writing the reasons to prematurely end the internship at least 3 working days. So if you fail to complete the internship program without valid cause, disqualifies the student intern from retaking the program with concerned HTE. And then number 11, report to OJT coordinator for an exit assessment after the completion of the internship period. Any questions or clarifications sa obligations and responsibilities of a student intern? Wala? Okay. Since there's no question, let's proceed to the next slide. Kita na? Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
So, the status of the student intern. So, take note that the student intern shall be considered as an intern and not as an employee of the post-training establishment for the duration of the internship. And in case of a working student, he or she shall be allowed to earn credits for internship upon evaluation and assessment of his or her particular assignment or tasks during the internship period by the HEI or by the college. Do you have question about this? May clarification?
Nanak, ma'am.
Sigurado
None po,
ba?
ma'am.
Okay. So, katong mga working na mga students, walang question about this. Na-understand to na provision? Sige.
Ma'am Nanette?
Yes. Yes, sir? Sir Clyde?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, sir.
Question lang, ma'am, sa requirements. Apil man din rin, ma'am,
Oo.
ma-discuss later in terms of crediting.
Yes, sir. Magsabit lang. Actually, sir, the detail of the crediting of the certificates sa next na siya, separate date na siya. But if you want to include it here, pwede rin din natin siya i-discuss, sir, for the crediting. Kung ano yung gusto mo malaman. Okay?
Okay po. Yes, ma'am. Noted.
Wala nang question? Basta remember, ang crediting will only take place during the internship period. Yung hours. But yung certificates, pwede siya. Pero yung nag-duty ka na, but hindi pa siya during the internship period, hindi pa siya pa-credit. Okay?
Yes, ma'am.
What are the duties and obligation pala and responsibilities of the parents and the guardians? Wala pa ni Balhin. Wait lang. Okay na? Okay. Actually, dalawa lang ang obligation and responsibilities of the parent and the guardian or the guardian. Ang gawin lang niya is dapat issue and sign the written consent and then co-sign the internship contract and or agreement to manifest approval or consent to the internship of their child. Ay, may question si Sir Ian. Ma'am Nanette. Ay, dili question. Sorry.
Hello, ma'am. Dili sa question, ma'am. Ako ang gi-clarify lang nako na katong crediting na imong gina-mention, I think naapoy kinalaman dito sa gi-raise na question ni Sir Clyde. Bali, katong mga working students, oo. katong gi-mention nimo nga only when they are already enrolled.
Oh, yes, sir.
Mhm.
Ano na siya ha? Pero the credit, there are credits earned if you submit certificates. Sige, i-mention na lang ako later what are those certificates that can be credited para ma-lessen ang number of hours sa OJT hours ninyo. Okay? So let's proceed. Violations of that can be committed by the student intern. Okay. So number 1 violation according to section 16. Okay. Any act for the section 26. Okay, any act of gambling, theft, and other similar illegal acts. Kani siya ha, may tabo ni siya during sa OJT ninyo. Kunwari, may mga gambling inside the company, tapos mag-appeal-appeal, it's a violation. Okay? Submitting forged and fraudulent documents, any act in violation of the HEI's rules and regulation, any act in violation of HTE rules and regulation in accordance with the internship program, and any act in violation of the laws of the country. So aside from the violations stipulated in CMO 104 series of 2017, the college also has set of additional violations, which are also included in the OJT agreement. Okay? These are the unexplained absences and tardiness. Kasi we have experience in past OJT natin na maraming absences and tardiness during their OJT. And then insubordination or failure to comply any OJT-related requested tasks. Failure to submit required reports to the OJT coordinator, tampering of records, failure to finish the on-the-job training during the prescribed timetable shall be considered drop or fail. Kasi meron lang tayong, actually, 5 months ang isang semester. However, since graduating kayo, ang registrar kasi would ask for the requirements earlier, especially yung certificate of completion issued by the HTE. So kailangan mo siyang matapos within 4 months kasi marami pa kayong gagawin for the requirements para sa graduation. Okay? So what are the sanctions? So any student trainee found guilty of violating any of the provisions contained in these guidelines may be subjected to the following sanctions. The first offense, written warning lang. Second offense, suspension for a period of time determined by UIC CCS. But take note na meron tayong time frame. So if you are to be suspended for a certain period of time, it might affect your completion of your OJT hours. So as much as possible, please do not violate the rules or the provisions stipulated in the agreement. Nasa agreement to lahat. Okay? And for the third offense, the student trainee shall be considered drop or any question so far? Clarification? Wala? Okay. Wala pa nag-change akong slide. Wait lang. Okay. So, UICCCS recognizes the impact of COVID-19 pandemic and wishes to continue to assist our students in achieving their educational objectives. So that's why we created an alternative flexible internship program. Wait lang, may question. Naulahi. What happened if the absences are due to medical reasons? Okay. There's a question from Miss Ma'am Leilani Avila. Okay. As long as ano kasi siya ma'am, based on the provision, we need to finish our OJT within 4 months. Okay. Now, for example, hindi siya naka-report on duty because of medical problem. Sometimes, ang nangyari before, ang ginawa namin is we give additional tasks to compensate for the hours that were not completed. If the reason is valid, ganun ang ginagawa namin, ma'am. Have I answered your question, Ma'am Lailani? Okay. Okay, so let's continue. So the we created an alternative flexible internship program. So it could be remote or blended. So the college or CCS in collaboration with HTE shall determine the appropriate mix of remote and face-to-face work-related activities for student intern to achieve the learning outcome of the course. Now, CCS also will assess the readiness of the students and the host company regarding the safe conduct of the face-to-face OJT activities based on the IATF recommendations and guidelines. The training, the details of the training method will be discussed further with the student on a different date. But it would probably be before deployment. Okay, kasi meron different mode of training. Pwede kasi si school na or si college na ang bigay ng task. Meron tayong on campus, meron din tayong work from home. Okay, depending on the need ni HTE. Any question or clarification sa mode of training? Wala. Yes, Andrew. Andrew, you're acknowledged. Meron ka nang in mind na OJT company? Can you give me specifics, Andrew? Hello? Andrew? Kasi if we base it in the provision of the CHED, kailangan lang siya is dapat naka-registered siya sa government authority. So we'll have to evaluate and assess first if pwede siya, and then I will confer with Sir Eric if it's possible that we accept HTE abroad. Kasi purely online ang parang work mo ngayon dyan. Ang mode of training. Ganun ba, Andrew? But I still have to discuss it with Sir Erica. I'll update you later kung pwede siya. Okay? Okay. Any other question? Wala na? Wala pa, nagbalhin akong slide. Okay na. Wait lang ha, wala akong presentation. Okay. So again, let me reiterate, the OJT duration would be 4 months and should complete a total of 486 hours. If that is for both BSCS and BSIT. Okay, again, ang number of OJT hours will be lessened if you submit certificates for crediting. And when I check the classroom, wala pa'y nag-submit. So the deadline will be on January 8, 2022. So beyond that, hindi na kami mag-credit. Are we clear on this? Kasi matagal na naming inopen ang submission for certificates. Now, for example, ma'am, nawala naman akong certificate. So, charge to experience na lang siya. But it will not be credited to your OJTRs. There's a question from...
Yes, ma'am. Okay, question, ma'am.
Oh,
Sa
sige.
certificates, good, ma'am. Kay mostly gihatag
Yes.
sa mua kay walay name good na naka-indicate. Okay lang gyapon to sila, ma'am.
I-check na to. Kinsa man na, ng mga, asa man dapit, kinsa ang naghatag sa certificates.
Ang mga contest dati, ma'am, naang certificates karon kay Ma'am Darlene.
Sige lang, no problem. Basta ma-identify man ni Ma'am Darlene kung kinsa ang participants for that particular contest.
Sige, ma'am.
Kasi kasali siya for crediting. Pag nanalo, may corresponding number of hours na ma-minus. Yes. Yes, John.
Ma'am, meron akong certificate from high school. Pwede po yan.
Ano lang siya, college, start lang ng natin.
Okay.
First year college.
Okay po.
Next, Karel.
Ma'am, what if group sa isa ka certificate lang? Saan siya?
Unsa man siya nga group na certificate?
Tayo, ma'am.
Like contest?
Contest, ma'am. By 3.
Same lang siya. Same lang gyapon. Each student who participated the contest, if nanalo siya, the same lang ang number of credits nila. Hindi siya i-divide ha. Like for example, daog mo divided by 3 kung tulo ka buok dili. Individual ang crediting.
Thank you, ma'am.
Next, Andrew. Yes, Andrew.
Wala na ako napindot.
Ay, wala. Wala lang iwan na pindot. Yes, Jan.
Ma'am, may nagpatanong kung IT related lang ba jud daw?
IT, depende siya sa, syempre, if you look at the provisions sa agreement natin, the training included should be yung ating system development, technical support, saka yung mga contest, o kanang kunwari, umingon kag technical support, kanari na ay program, tapos appeal mo na nag-facilitate in preparation of the program, kasali yan siya. Meron yan siyang credits.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you po.
From Althea, ma'am, considered ba training certificate? Kung sa'y pasabutan ni Althea, like kanang work ma'am karon. Dili siya, basta gani naga-work ka, dili mo na siya as training certificate. Lahi siya. Ang pasabot sa training certificate is kana ganing, like for example, certificate na kunwari nag-attend ka og seminar, nag-attend ka og workshop, So sa work ninyo, like for example, nag-work na mo karon, dili na siya credited. Unless, ano siya, accredited part na siya sa ato ang HTE, pool of HTE. Tapos na natay MOA, signed between the company and CUIC, CCS. Okay? If, kunwari, gusto nimo mo continue, tayo mo ang ginatrabahuan karon, all you have to do is, mag-coordinate ka sa kuha or sa mua ni Sir Beltran para ma-process na to ang mga papers. Okay? Yes, Jaco. Ay, Maynard, ma'am, certificate of participation, ma'am, pwede na. Pwede ang certificate of participation, especially if ang imuhang gi-attenan na seminar is IT related. Ma'am, kung outside sa school ang contest or ang seminar na certificate, ma-counted ba Japon? Siyempre, that's why you just need to submit your certificate para ma-evaluate na mo siya if accepted siya or dili. Okay? Kunwari, during your project management, di ba, mag-create ka og system and then na-deploy si system and then naka-receive ka og certificate na na-deploy siya tapos nagamit, then it will also earn a credit. That's 40 hours credit kanang na-deploy na system. Ma'am, required ba na na-ay certificate, ma'am? Pwede. Kung wala kay matag na certificate, then you have to complete the maximum of the required 486 hours. Kay katong sa program na category, ma'am, ako ang set up ato. Mangayo kag certificate sa UIC SSG na ikaw ang nag-set up. Jean, ha? Dapat gid siya na ay certificate. So, pag walay certificate and then nag-facilitate ka or nitabang ka in the preparation of during the program, mangayo lang kang certificate sa ilaha. Okay? What else? Meron pa? May mga question pa? Wala na? Wala na. Yes, ma'am. Pwede siya, technical assistance during programs. Pwede siya. Dapat may provide lang siya ng certificate. Okay. Wala lang question so that we can continue. Sa Comelec. What do you mean? If sa Comelec, unsa man sa Comelec? Sure D. Okay, elaborate daw. Okay, expound. Facilitate sa unsa man. When was this? Comelec, unsa man siya? Sure D. Comelec sa school. Pwede ka maghatag og certificate. Mga igapon kag certificate. Okay? Yes, Jeno.
Ay, ma'am.
Yes.
Hello. Madugan ka, ma'am. Kanang nagpasa na ko katong PDF good, ma'am, na ang mga certificates pero napay uban, ma'am, na marag patulungan pa. Pwede mag-usap pa sa
Isabit
ma'am.
lang. Ang deadline is January 8.
Sige po. Thank you po.
Okay. Wala na question? Okay na, so let's continue. Okay, so the student must comply with the following requirements, and all the needed documents should be submitted to the respective OJT coordinators before deployment. Okay? So number 1, the student must have undergone OJT orientation. So before the end of this orientation, we will check your attendance. So kailangan kasi that all the student must have undergone OJT orientation. Number 2, must have a competent assessment results on all the areas of competency. And then, number 3, submit a copy of the Capstone project approval sheet. Number 4, the student will be given 1 endorsement at a time. So if you are not accommodated to the first HTE of your choice, then a second endorsement will be released. So pag kayo kasi ang magpili ng company. So 1 at a time lang. If for example, sa first choice mo, hindi ka natanggap, then that's the time we will again give you another endorsement. Okay? Para pwede ka na rin mag-apply. Okay, number 5, submit a copy of the acceptance letter. Ito siya lahat ha, don't worry. Itong mga recommendation, acceptance letter, template na to siya. We will give it to you once you completed all the other requirements. Okay? Tapos, copy of signed training agreement and a copy of student trainees resume. Any questions so far? Ay, may dagdag pa pala to. Wala, nawala ako slide. Okay? Next, we require you to present your vaccination card or your vac certificate, especially if you opted for on-site training or limited face-to-face. Then you need to submit also a medical certificate and psychological test result. Number 10, you also need to submit student information sheet and then assign data privacy consent form and insurance certificate. Siguro ang PhilHealth, I don't know kung anong binibigay nila, pero copy lang nun ang isubmit. And then number 14, pregnancy test result for female. So number 4, ang ating last na requirement, which is the pregnancy test result, importante siya because we want to know the student trainees pregnancy result to avoid health complications during the training. Because we always consider the well-being of the student trainee and the child if and when she is pregnant. Okay, sa mga babae lang, way labot sila laki. Lain po kayo, no? Okay, any questions or clarification?
Ma'am, may nagpa-ask po regarding sa certificate. Ilang hours daw katumbas niya, ma'am?
Unya na akong present na ako later ang oras.
Okay po.
May mga corresponding hours siya tapos para makita nyo na lang din later. Okay? Any question? Wala lang question sa requirements prior to deployment. Meaning to say, you will not be deployed unless you complied all the requirements. Okay, ang sa psychological test, ma'am, we have already contacted Ma'am Ima siya na ang magbigay ng psychological tests. And the psychological test is covered by the college. Kami na po, kasali na po siya sa payment. Only the yung sa medical natin, may mga requirements na kailangan si school na isubmit ni student para ma-issuehan siya ng medical certificate. Before kasi ma'am, yung mga student namin for the x-ray, nung face-to-face pa, meron kaming kinokontak na mobile x-ray. Tapos, they just go to the school, tapos doon na lahat mag-x-ray ang mga students. Pero lahat ng DOH na accredited na hospitals and clinic, accepted po siya. Tapos, si Telemedicine kasi, si UIC will issue the medical certificate. Provided na isubmit lang nila yung mga kailangan ni UIC. Like for example, si X-ray, yung kanilang mga CBC na test results, and yung mga kailangan pa. Lahat ng mga details will be discussed tomorrow by Ma'am Cheryl. Kung ano yung kailangan. Thank you, Ma'am. Noon kasi yung mga lab works nila sa UIC lang ginagawa. However, parang close si UIC lab ngayon. I don't know if close siya. Else, na lang mag-discuss si Ma'am Cheryl tomorrow. Okay? Wala nang question? Okay, so let's proceed. So, wala pa. Okay na. So these are, here is the list of partner agencies, industries of the college. We have 3 government agencies, 5 private companies. So ito siya, the student will still be the one who applies to the company. Just like in the normal process of applying for a job. So it is still the company's prerogative to accept the student as to accept you as their student intern or not. Kaya nga, we also, we always assist the students. Like for example, mahirapan siya or walang company muna available that can accommodate the student, we will always assist the student. Meron kami mga other ways or mode of training. Question? So, pwede na mamili aning mga nakalista na mga HTE. Wala'y question? No question? Yes, di ba? We have government agencies such as CHED, Region 11, COMELEC, LGU sa Davao de Oro. Okay. Ang mga requirements based sa akong gihatag, katong mga, you need first the endorsement letter, resume. Ana lang. And then if the company will ask for some more requirements, pwede rin ninyo i-apply. Wala pa so far. Kana lang ginapangayo nila. Because we already have a memorandum of agreement with these companies. Pwede ba any town sa Davao de Oro, ma'am? Unsay pasabot ani Ken Bandong? What do you mean by this? Any town sa Davao de Oro?
Ken, provincial government yatin Davao de Oro. At sa nabuntulan yata ni siya. Hello, Ken. Okay.
Pwede mag-apply sa na hindi listed sa present. Okay. Suppose you want to recommend a company to be part of the CCS pool of HTE kasi you cannot apply to any company basta wala siya nasali sa pool of HTEs ni CCS. Okay. So in that case, you need to coordinate with me or Sir Beltran. And then the company should meet the minimum requirement as stipulated in CMO 104 series of 2017. So unsa man, what are those? Number 1, dapat duly authorized HTE by the appropriate government entities, local, LGU, SEC, or DTI. Dapat the company is capable of providing the appropriate internship program and has the capacity to co-develop along with HEI and follow an internship plan to be undergone by student intern in the HTE. Number 3, has the capacity to mentor, provide and facilitate the provision of technical training to student intern. Okay, number 5, follow the evaluation system. Number 4 pa pala, has the capacity to monitor and submit monthly reports to the OJT coordinator. And lastly, must follow the evaluation system of students' performance provided by the HEI. So, madali lang to. We just have to call the company that you want to recommend and then we'll have to ask them questions. Kung pwede ba nilang ma-comply to minimum requirements. Okay? And then, once the HTE has met the minimum qualification, the company will comply with the additional requirements. Okay? And then, like submission of the photocopy of the business permit, yung sketch of the office location, especially if face-to-face siya, we will visit the place. Okay? And then, to ensure that the company strictly follow the minimum health and safety protocol for face-to-face and blended learning. And then, we will also provide a company profile form. And then, meron talaga siyang MOA, Memorandum of Agreement, between the school and the company. Any question? Sa ganito nanguntahan na kung pwede. Giselle, tugonon, pwede siya, pero dapat mag-comply siya with the requirements. Okay, salamat. Next, let's go to the assessment. Let's start. Okay. So there are 4 areas of competencies. We have the PC operation, which cover office productivity, touch typing, and internet operation. Okay. The second competency is the programming. This includes web structure, object-oriented, and database programming. Next, we also have an assessment for multimedia skills that includes animation, graphics, visual graphics, and presentation graphics. The last competency is the computer hardware servicing, which cover topics in network design, cabling and configuration, troubleshooting, and software installation. So all qualified students must take the assessment as scheduled. Okay. The assessment result must be competent in all criteria based on the rubrics. Any questions or clarifications? Yes, Jeno.
Ma'am, for example, ma'am, simba ko lang po, no? Pero, for example, ma'am, kanang isa sa mga areas, good, ma'am, dili makapasaan na. Dili ka maka-OJT, ma'am, or
Okay. If the student, for example, simba ko palayo, fails in any of the 4 competencies, they have to retake the test only in the area where they failed. So, kunwari, nabagsak ka sa programming, then you have to retake the test. So, the assessor will schedule the retake after January 14. After pa sa assessment. So, we have to finish all the 4 competencies, areas first, before the retake. The result of the assessment will be emailed to the student individually. Okay? So, kunwari, nabagsak na pud ka, retake na pud ka. You cannot be deployed unless makapasa sa assessment. Okay? So dapat mag-study.
Yes pa. So, ma'am, regardless kung pila ka book takes, ma'am, dapat hantod sa makapasa lang
Kaya
sa assessment,
lang, ang problema nimo, regardless of kuan siya, wala siya limit, no? Pero, naamantay, time frame. The more na magsikag retake, the more na madugay ka ma-deploy.
Okay.
So, dako ang chances of dili nimo mahuman ang OJT.
Simba ko lang. Pero, ma'am, kung for example, ma'am, mag-retake, ma'am, same questions lang gihapon, ma'am, or lahi-lahi, ma'am?
Agoy, kaya siya nga pangutan na si assessor ang makatubag ana. Pero ikaw, sa tanaw nimo, effective ba siya nga ibalik ang question? Ibang murag lain, no? Naasad by financial obligation, ma'am, kung mag-retake several times. Actually, free ang first 3. First 3 nga retake. More than sa 4th time nimo, naa kay you are required to ganing join a review course, tapos magbayad na ka for the assessment. Free pa na siya for 3 takes. 3 ba to or 2? I-check na ko, ha. Pero normally 3 mo to kuning dumduman or 2. Okay, online ang assessment, ma'am. Hindi siya online. On-site ang assessment. Walay bayad ang assessment. Libre na siya, included na tanan inyong mga ginabayaran karon, included na siya sa inyong tuition.
Ano sa assessment niyo?
Okay, na. Wala na yung question about ani?
Ma'am, last na dyan, ma'am. Ay, isa to. Ma'am?
Sa day of, yes, Jeno, ikaw sa Jeno. Yes.
Last na dyan, ma'am, kanang sa programming, ma'am, kay unsa ang na specific na language, ma'am, or kanang
Sir Ian?
Sir Ian, Sir Clyde?
Later na lang siguro, no. Anyway, i-introduce na ako ang mga assessors so that you can ask the assessors individually, ha? Later na nato bagon imo ang question, Jeno. Okay lang yan, no?
Yes po, ma'am. Okay lang po. Thank you po.
Ma'am, sa day ng assessment, dili ba pwede ang magdala o laptop? Pwede rin na magdala og laptop. Okay lang na magdala og laptop.
Ay, imong gugaw diyan, imong kita makamakay.
So, Ian, naka ano ka?
Wala ka na
mic. Okay lang sir, later i-question na nila. So, iyan. Okay, sige na. Wala na yung question about sa assessment ha? I know sa areas of competency sa ta. Okay.
Ay, sorry. Ako na resign.
Yes,
tanong. Asa ganyan siya specifically matake ng assessment test? Mas na-miss na ako ang kung asa siya pwede matake.
Sa UIC.
Sa UIC, on-site siya.
On-site?
Face-to-face ang assessment.
Abay, may anak tanan, ma'am.
Na-schedule. Later, pakita po na ko ay ang schedule. Ha? Pati ang group assignments.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay.
Kaya, ma'am,
Panigawas.
ay, sir,
Yes.
na ba yung possibility na ma-remote ng assessment o on-site?
Dili mong good, especially
On-site
sa
din siya.
ano. Oh. Asa di ka karon ng group?
Tagum, ma'am.
Ano lang ka? Biyahe?
I guess ano, ma'am.
Okay, nakita na? Okay, here is the list of the assessors with their corresponding assigned areas. Sa PC Operation, Casquejo and Beltran, Multimedia, Manero and Adlaon, Programming, Balaman and Sir Binablo, CHS, Claribel and Manceras. Sa ganito yung question ni Mojeno, you can direct your question to the programming assessors.
Okay po. Good morning po, Sir Clyde and Sir Ian. Question lang po sa programming good, sir, is kung nabay specific na programming language po or ano, maski unsa lang, sir.
Hello ma'am, good morning. I think the answer na siya ni Sir Clyde sa chat box. Walay specific na language.
Okay po. Sige po. Thank you
So,
po.
choose any. Basta kayo ma-accomplish lang ang task na ihatag.
Okay, any other question? You can ask the assessors now para maka-prepare. Sir, practical exam ni siya or mura gihapon best. For the CHS, Ma'am Chen, will you conduct a practical exam?
Ma'am Nanette, ako to yung magpapatang.
Yes. Sa CHS, ma'am, practical exam?
Pwede, tepa. Naman good siya online, ma'am, no? Pero if mo required na on-site,
Yes, ma'am. On-site siya.
on-site
Diba
siya.
before, naamoy murag ano? Katong murag installation something?
Sa ano to, ma'am? O yun, pero ang sa first na side, ma'am, kay simulation man sila gihapon.
Simulation sila.
Oo.
How about... yes, ma'am.
Sige lang, ma'am, ano lang na ako, ma'am, kay ang last man good is simulation to akong giano sa ilaha.
Okay. Siguro, ano na lang, no? We can provide them with kanang coverage kung sa tumilang para makastudy sila. Although na appeal naman dito sa ilang mga topics na ma-cover, pero mas better if okay lang sa assessors, you can provide them with the coverage kung sa itong nabay sila specific like sa programming, nabay sila specific kung sa ilang dapat na i-study para at least makapasa sila. Ang scope yun actually. No?
Yes, ma'am.
Sir Chris?
Yes, ma'am.
How about sa imo ha, ma'am? Sir. Ma'am naman. Oh, sus. How about sa imo ha, sir? Ang sa ilahang ano? Pwede.
Ano ba baka, ma'am?
Makatag sa ilahan na ano.
Klaro ang boses, ma'am. Ay, klaro ang boses, ma'am.
Yes, klaro, sir. Ang sa imo pwede, ano sa ilahan?
Ano, ma'am, last time ang good purely practical po ni ma'am. Tapos, it encompasses, it encompasses the basics of, visual graphics design such as logo making, and then poster making as well.
Okay. So, any other question? Okay na? Ano na?
PC operation.
Sa PC operation, asa yun kaya ang PC operation? Di ba? Internet operations, more on, we will also provide mga practical exam para mas dali na siya. Saan yun? Hello, ma'am. Na-review session before the assessment. Wala. Shy review. Self-review. Before sa pre-assessment test ba? Before sa actual test? Wala na siya, ma'am. Diretso na siya assessment test sa schedule. Timurag, ano pa sa time? O, scenario-based daw ang networks. According to Ma'am Shena. So, mga pointers na lang daw, we will give pointers to the students para at least maano nila, makastudy sila. Okay? Na question? No, 4 days ang assessment. Later, I'll present the tentative schedule. Jeno.
Ma'am, sa assessment, good ma'am. Pwede ba magdalag sariling laptop, ma'am? Or ang mga units dito sa school ang gamitin?
Pwede naman magdala og laptop. Okay naman siguro.
Sige po. Thank you po.
Okay. Okay na?
Delete full.
Ay, delete day pwede daw.
Delete.
Saman.
Delete naman. Okay. Pwede magdalag laptop katong delete kay para dito kay Jen Paul Perez na question. Sorry ko Jen mo.
So, okay na. So, let's proceed. So, what to bring? Wait lang, wala pa ni gawas. Okay? Okay, what to bring during the assessment? So, on the first day of the assessment, you need to be at the school 15 minutes earlier, since we have to check your requirements before allowing you to take the exam. Okay? Be sure to eat a full meal. So as a gentle reminder to all the male students, please get a haircut and you shave. Okay? Take note that colored hair for both males and females is not allowed inside the campus. Okay. What to bring? Number 1, you have to bring your vaccination card. Number 2, bring your school ID, bring your own ball pen. Okay, kay no borrowing of ball pen. Bring, if for example, meron kayong gipa-credit na certificate, you bring the original copy of the certificate for crediting. So for unvaccinated and partially vaccinated students, present negative results of RT-PCR, either swab or saliva tests, taken within 72 hours. Next, bring alcohol or sanitizer, tissue, and extra face mask. What to wear? Okay? School uniform. Para dali ra mo mailhan. Okay? Please take note that we will enforce 1 entry, 1 exit policy. Meaning, you are only allowed to enter and exit the school premises once. So you are not allowed to go in and out of the campus as you wish. So after your exam, you must go home right away so that you can prepare for the next exam. You are not allowed to roam around the campus. sabtan. Dili pwede nga, ay, magawas ako, magpait ko ballpen, ay, musulod na po ko, ana. Dapat, pag nakasulod na, mugawas lang siya after the exam. Do you have any questions or clarification? Hindi na magkasya ang school uniform. Charot, atik-atik lang si Jeno. Ma'am, kung di na maigo ang uniform po. Jeno, panghiram.
Ay, ma'am,
Ma'am,
kana sa gyang assessment, ma'am, basig madala pa siya exercise, ma'am.
madala pala. O, ikaw ba? Ma'am, regarding sa school ID, nabali man ba? Kasi hindi na pasudlon. Di ba, man na? Sige lang. Dala lang yapon. Oh, bitaw, tama. Uy, dapat ha, magpagupit. Kaya nakita na ko mga tagas kay mga
Uniform na problema.
uniform, saan man na, sir? Isod mong good na to kung dili sila ipa-uniform, di natin sila ma-identify. Sige lang, we'll just discuss. Nga nanambok mo tanan?
Yes, ma'am. Harap.
Mga
Gabi
before
kabuyag,
lunch,
ma'am.
magod siya. Pwede rin mo magdala siguro, pero wala mo good tayo place dito na makakaon mo. Tanaon pa na ako ha, I'll update you if pwede ra ba mangaon sa kana gani katong sa Murag Labi, pero I doubt kung sugot si UIC. So, ang exam, sige lang, i-discuss natin na later. If pwede ra siya.
Nampok sa tanan.
Okay? Question, wala na? Wala na? So, let's proceed.
Ay na ba daw ang uniform?
As of the moment, mo na ang atong attire. Pero, tanaw na to karon kung sa'y may tabo.
Buhok o mag-shave, Maynard.
Oh, tama. Ang mga buhok ha, nga, ayaw tong mga pink na mga buhok, mga blue na buhok, basig masyakta, di ta makasulod sa UIC. Okay na? Wala pa nabalhin. Wait lang. Okay, there will be a 4-day on-site face-to-face assessment. It will start on January 11 and ends on the 14th. Okay, so to ensure that we follow the health protocol, we divided the students into 4 groups of 14. So on the first day, they will take the programming followed by computer hardware and servicing, then PC operations, and on the last day will be the multimedia. So each assessment area will take 3 hours. And the morning schedule is from 8:30 to 11:30. And in the afternoon, it will be from 1 to 4 p.m. Ma'am Shen, okay na ka ni Ma'am Shen? Wala mong line schedule.
Akong pangitaan nagkuan, ma'am. Pira, ma'am, pira.
Nag-uulgugo. Ano man good, ang nahitabo siya is 14 lang. So, two rooms lang ang i-occupy nato. So, morning and afternoon siya.
Sige naman, pakitaan na ako na, ma'am. Pera na.
One day lang man, ma'am. One day lang siya, January 12.
Sige po, sige.
Okay, salamat, ma'am. How about sa other assessors? Okay lang nga time, 8:30 to 11, tapos 1 to 4. Okay lang ni Sir Clyde, Sir Ian, Sir Chris.
Ma'am, si Chris.
Ma'am Tin. Oh, Sir Chris, Ma'am Tin. Si Ma'am Tin, naraman na diya si Ma'am Tin sa school. Pero kani si Chris, murag layo-layo ni. Sir Chris? Sir Chris Manero?
Yes,
Yes,
no,
no,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Oh, sir. Okay lang ni sir, ha?
Yes,
On-site
ma'am.
ni siya,
Goods lang, ma'am.
January 14.
Opo. Sige, sige, ma'am. Noted, ma'am.
Hala, ako'y bakuna si Chris. Patay ni si Chris. Ipa-booster na lang nato ni.
Diretso booster, ma'am.
Oo.
Ma'am, okay lang mag-assessment na wala pa na-enroll, ma'am. Kaya di ba 10 to 14 man ang enrollment po.
O wala namang good may mahimo na ano. Dapat yun madugay, magud tay inigulaton pa nato si enrollment. Masamo taga-dugay. So, napaba tay retake, no? If ever. So, okay lang sa siya.
Busay mo kabagsak ka. Study jud mo. That's it.
Ma'am, mag-PCR ba gihapon kung saan ni?
Kung first dose lang ang vaccine.
Partial o kanang unvaccinated. Pero sige lang, i-discuss nato ni siya kay mao magud ni ang naa sa protocol. Sige lang, i-discuss na ako tas i-update ta mo. As of the moment, mo na siya atong sundon. Okay? Jonas? Ano sa day mo second dose, Jonas? Nagod karon sa UIC. 1 p.m. Bahada.
Sa Surigao, ma'am.
Ay, mag-first pa siya.
Gayon.
Okay. Sige. Try na to if mas mura man si antigen, try na to basit pwede ra si antigen test.
Johnson lang. Isa
Ay, ubi to. Johnson & Johnson. Isa lang. Tama. Correct. Actually, no, daghan kay pwede good walk-in sa kanang P-Park. Tanan vaccine na dito. Johnson & Johnson. Sa katong dito. Moderna, Pfizer, Sinovac, and AstraZeneca. Tanan vaccine na. Adto lang mo dito sa
Everyday na, ma'am.
P-Park. Oh, dito gani ko nagpa-booster. Everyday na siya.
Ang booster karon nasa USEP from January 4 to January 7 yate. Walk-in pwede kung isa gusto mo pa booster. USEP gym. USEP gym.
Suko ka tuloy. Okay na ha? Anyway, i-post naman sa classroom ang ano and also sa GChat ang schedule of a tentative schedule of assessment. So mag-start siya January 11 after na sa inyong defense sa Capstone. A week after, no? Okay. So let's continue. Group assignments. So group 1, mo ni siya ang mga assigned students for group 1, laboratory 1, group 2, group 3, and group 4. You can take a screenshot para fix na ning group assignment. Ang schedule na lang if. Pero most probably final na yun na schedule because we cannot move the assessment kay basin maapiki na ta sa oras. Kay basin ay mag-retake sa programming, kaduha mag-retake sa madugay ta. Okay? No more questions? Room assignments. Ani. So, para dito magkagubot, sa January 1, ay January 11, sorry. Si Sir Bernablo, first day, will be in room 1, and Sir Balaman will be in room 2. Room 2 is lab 2. Okay, on January 12, Ma'am Manceras will have room 1 and Ma'am Floribel will be in room 2. On the third day, January 13, room 1 will be assigned to Ma'am Casquejo and room 2 will be assigned to Sir Beltran. On the last day, January 14, Sir Manero will take room 1 and Ma'am Christine will be in room 2. Please take note of your room assignments. Students and also the professor. Anyway, I will post this again in the classroom. Question?
Sir Ian.
So daw,
Sir Ian.
sir?
Hello, ma'am. Ma'am, na
Wala na si Ribayla.
ma'am, nga wala na lista, ma'am.
Oh, wala. Kinsa man ang wala na lista. Di na natin i-appeal.
Tugonon og rebaylo
Joke lang.
mamit.
Nihilak ni Ron. Wait lang ha. Si Tugonon and Ribayla mo lang. I-double check lang na ako siya. Sige. Since wala man ako nalista si Tugonon and Ribayla, tagaanta mo choice. Asa mo karon na group mo gusto mo join? Para di kay mal si Tugonon o si Ribayla. Asa na group?
Wala po ko, ma'am. Pwede po ko mag-choice na.
Kinsa ni si?
Fernandez.
Ay, nakaka-Fernandez.
Pinabog
Group 2.
Wala lagi, wala, promise.
Group 2, Fernandez.
Karat lang.
Ma'am, kaya nagatik-atik man sa ma'am sa lang isa, ma'am.
Char lang
Oh,
yun, ma'am.
separate na siya. After, na siya, January, na siya, 14, 2023. Angelo?
Char lang yun, legit.
Ribayla and Tugonon. Asan yung mga preferred na group?
Dili na lang na siya, group 4.
4 na lang. 2 and 4 na daw.
Oh, 2
4
and
si Ribayla, 2 si Tugonon.
Take note na ako. Rebayla, 4.
Tugonon 2.
Tugonon. Wala na-check ninyo, na-tanan yung pangalan. Ano ko pero wala na-appeal?
Nag-appeal ba mo sa classroom? Tugonon and Ribayla? Okay, sige. Group 4 ka Ribayla. Tugonon group 2.
Okay na? Okay. So, Sir Beltran will discuss the JMC of CHED and DOH. Actually, kani siya is i-draft pa siya, but more or less, murag mauna gid ni siya. Kaya lang wala pa siya na permahan and then wala pa siya na implement. However, we will just give you the preview of the provisions in the joint memorandum circular of CHED and DOH. Okay? Galing is stop sharing sa ko.
Ma'am, katong requirements, ma'am, kay i-comply siya after sa assessment, ma'am, no?
Kung saan pasabot yung mga requirements ka itong
Mga requirements na sa medical,
pwede
mga
na
inanto,
ka,
ma'am.
parallel ang imuhang Ay, anyway, discuss na siya tomorrow. Okay, mag-set man po yung schedule si clinic kung kano sa ang inyong virtual na sa inyong telemedicine with the doctor para maka-issue siya o medical certificate. Tomorrow na lang natin na siya mabalaan. Ha?
Sige, ma'am. Thank you.
Kasi basic, pwede ra siya masabay kay para at least paspas na mahuman. Okay?
Sige, ma'am. Thank you.
Hello, madunggan ko.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, this is a joint memorandum circular by CHED and DOH. So this is draft lang siya, wala pa siya na himuan o yung number, but more or less muna na i-follow sa mga schools, mga HEI, especially sa pag-conduct ng face-to-face next semester or next school year pala. So since tayo we will conduct face-to-face na limited face-to-face kasi we have assessment, we will follow this joint memorandum circular by CHED and DOH. So ang scope and coverage niya, so we have alert levels man tayo. So only alert levels 1, 2, and 3 shall be allowed to join limited face-to-face classes. Pag mag-alert level 4, tamba ko lang, ang city or ang region natin, mag-stop tayo ng face-to-face. So, then, HEI shall advise fully vaccinated students with significant comorbidities themselves or living with individuals with similar conditions to consider flexible learning and take face-to-face classes in succeeding semesters or whenever possible without prejudice or admission or maximum residency. Then, HEI shall take additional precautionary measures as needed for the vulnerable groups who will participate in the limited face-to-face classes. Programs and courses, all higher education programs and courses across disciplines and year level shall be considered for the implementation of limited face-to-face classes in areas under alert level 1, 2, and 3. And sa pagkaalam ko, mga medical school, naga face-to-face na sila, and probably next school year, susunod na yung ibang program ng UIC. So, general guidelines. So, we have 1.5 meters minimum physical distance between students and mga personnel. So, we will strictly implement this one, especially sa assessment natin this coming January 11 to 14. So, we will implement the physical distancing protocol for the students and teachers and non-teaching personnel while in the school premises. Okay, take note ha, 1.5. Hindi ito magtapok-tapok sa itong assessment. We will follow the protocol. Then, off-campus activities, OJT, especially are allowed to subject to approval of the LGU. And in line with this, LGU shall proactively coordinate with the HEIs to ensure ease of doing business and effective government service delivery. So, sa UIC, sa OJT natin, may mga company man tayo na they will allow face-to-face and they will also yung work from home. So, depende na lang rin. Pero kung face-to-face, allow siya, pero dapat we will maintain yung safety protocols natin. Medical insurance, HEI shall ensure that students who will participate in limited face-to-face classes under this JMC and subsequent guidelines to be issued by CHED are registered with PhilHealth, either as a direct or indirect contributor, or meaning dependent siya or of the direct contributor, or with equivalent medical insurance that covers medical expenses related to COVID-19. So, kanina, sinabi ni Ma'am Nanette, dapat nakakuha ng PhilHealth, diba? Pero kung dependent ka, wala 18 hours, 21 naman siguro mo, no? 22. Consider na mo na dapat magkuha ng pag-PhilHealth. Okay? Hello? Magpa-register mga PhilHealth, ha?
Okay, sir.
Hello. Okay.
Di ba na maon ng card, sir?
Ang card?
Di ba naman i-apply the card sa PhilHealth, sir? Katong PhilHealth.
Oo, na.
Okay lang ka to, sir? Or...
kay PhilHealth?
Sir.
Okay na to. Mas maayo kung nalagyan mo yung PhilHealth. Okay?
Thank you.
Tapos, monthly man yata ang bayad na. Pero, kasi itong naka-register na, matulong sa office lang yata sa Davao City diya sa Magallanes. At bang sa Magallanes na condominium po. Okay? And implement additional health and safety measures. So, personal hygiene kits. So, HEIs shall require their students and teaching and non-teaching personnel to bring their personal hygiene kits, which may contain ethyl alcohol or hand sanitizer, cleansing wipes, tissue paper, toilet paper, hand towel, extra face mask, or hand soap. So, sa ating assessment next week, bring your personal hygiene kits. Okay? Kuha? Next is additional health and safety measures. Students and teaching and non-teaching personnel who have COVID-19 symptoms shall stay at home and shall report their conditions to their professors or supervisors. HEI shall monitor their health status. For continuity of learning, HEI shall implement the appropriate flexible learning mode for the affected students if possible. Or HEI shall allow work from home arrangement for affected teaching and non-teaching personnel if possible. So kung namoy symptoms, masking gamay ra na, ay na mo sulod, stay at home and report their condition to your sa amin. Especially pag magkwanta ng assessment. Kung tanaw nyo na may symptoms, ikaw na lang pod mo, mag-coordinate mo sa mua. Okay? Kuha. Yes, sir. Dito magka-tinakdanay. Okay? Next is 1 entry, 1 exit per day policy for students. So sinabi naman ma'am na kanina, no? Pag nakapasok na kayo ng campus, bawal magawas, sulod gawas. So, the student shall not be allowed to leave the campus premises between yung assessment natin. So, student shall only be permitted 1 entry and 1 exit per day. Okay? Pag gawasin nyo, ulit din mo, ha? Nagsuroy-suroy. Leaving the campus, student and teaching and non-teaching personnel shall leave the campus immediately after their class or work or sa atin after our assessment. Okay? So may mga designated gates or exit gates or points man dyan. Doon kayo mag-exit. Okay? So ayun nga. So may mga designated gates or exit gates. Doon lang kayo maglabas. Kasi para di kita magka-tapok-tapok. Okay? Then, strictly adhere to health and safety protocols and be transparent in declaring your health conditions, including those of family members and vaccination against COVID-19 status. Dili magkatik-atik, ha? Wala, magkatik-atik, kinahanglan din naman ang vaccination card. Then, kung nagyod mo'y gibati, pati inyong pamilya, please lang ing namidaan para dito magtinakdanay sa eskwelahan sa atong assessment time. Kuha? Wala.
Sir.
Kuha, wala. Okay. Assessment requirement, tama, nakikita naman sa ni Ma'am Nanette, pinakita naman sa Ma'am Nanette. Punta tayo sa survey results. So, sa vaccination status ninyo, out of 57, 89.5% fully vaccinated na. 7% none. So, kasi itong wala pa na vaksinan. Ano ba yung wala na vaksinan? Mag-first dose pa. Andrew Mantesa. May question ka, Andrew?
No, about sa pa na vaksinan, mag-first dose pa.
Wala ka na vaksinan pa, Andrew? Si Jonas magpunta bukas. Bakit wala pa ka nagpa-schedule? Wala kayo plano
Um,
magpa-vaccine?
Mag-walk-in pa man. Problema man lang doon kayo na may medical condition sa family. So, wasa may
May medical condition ka. Okay.
Kanang, what's ang tawag ni precondition sa family. So, ngayon is ano.
Precondition sa family. Did you ka pwede mabaksinan?
I think pwede man.
Andrew?
I think pwede man. Depende kung ano available
Pwede.
din kay ginahulat pod namo kanang gi-approve sa FDA. Kaya ang iba magud din kayo unsa sa Omicron. So nagahulat na pod ni sa unsa kung na-effective.
Actually, Andrew, kung ato ka sa PhilPark, tanan vaccine available. Pamili lang ka dito, marasod ka ng palengke sa vaccine. Sa kunwari, may ka gusto ni mo Sinovac, tatag Sinovac sa imo ha. Kung AstraZeneca, kompleto siya dito.
Sa tago man good ma'am, unsa siya ma'am? Kanang kung unsa ang available sa isa ka particular place or specific.
Daghan na bagong vaccine diri sa sa Davao. If possible, kung nakay time, imo jud siyang higayonan nga you visit sa Davao, ato kag People's Park. Daghan kay vaccine dito. Pa-vaccine lang may last katong 29. Mamili lang ka kung saan gusto niyo ma-booster. Pfizer, Moderna, wala sila pili ka nila kung saan mo ano man po siya, importante man po magpa-vaccine. But you have to ask for a medical certificate sa imong doktor kung i-allow ka niya ng mag-vaccine. Okay?
Okay ma'am.
Okay, salamat.
So, si Jonas, ugma magpa-schedule. Kasi pa wala pa na baksinan sa inyo. Si Andrew, si Jonas. Ako ba'y wala na baksinan? Si Miko. Miko gani.
Yes.
Lagang. Miko Lagang. Nas Miko Lagang? Miko Lagang na?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Wala kayo plano magpabaksin nito?
Sabay lang po ni Jonas, sir.
Sabay mo ni Jonas ugma.
Yes, sir.
God bless. Asa mo mapabaksin?
Plano ni Jonas, sir, mag-UIC daw minsan.
Karon sa UIC, daw karong hapon. Pero kung wala gani naman ang People's Park noon, pati ang USEP or nakuisan dito sa area kung asa ang mga hanay vaccination site karon sa Davao. Isa na ako sa katong GC nato na lang para makita ninyo. Okay?
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Hello. Okay. So sa OJT mode of training preference, ang on-site is 50.9%, 21.1 work from home, and 28.1 out of the 57 responses gusto nila blended ang training. Actually, may company man tayo na blended ang training nila. So, the first day lang siguro or first week siguro ang face-to-face. So, after nyan, pwede siya work from home. So, current location ninyo, so 21% ang outside Davao City. So may mga company man tayo na nasa outside Davao City, so pwede natin siya doon ilagay or pwede na lang po sa inyo. Okay?
Thank you, sir. Ma'am Tin, you have something to say? Ano daw si Ma'am Tin?
Ay, ala. Sige. Thank you, Ma'am Nanette. Okay, to those who are, so as mentioned by Ma'am Nanette, no, a while ago, Mina Laboratory is now open to accept trainees. So if you are interested to join, I don't know if I can share. I have a clip. Wait lang ha. Kaya na lang. Sorry. This will be short. Ayan. So, as you might have known, we have a new laboratory in the university in UIC, which is the Mina LPROC, and this is one of the HTE, as mentioned by Ma'am Nanette, no? And the laboratory uh, is very much interested and excited to welcome trainees who would want to join us and work on NLP related projects. Okay, so what will you do in the lab? Of course, you will develop programs and develop applications or web applications that are related to NLP. And minimum requirement would be you're going to do a project and a product, a website, or a program, or a tool, and a research paper. Okay, so that is expected of you. That's the minimum requirement that you will be producing in the laboratory. And aside from that, it will be on site, so you will enjoy the perks while working in the lab. So, like, you have an overflowing coffee that you can enjoy, some snacks, and then we'll have some maybe some games, trivia games, weekly trivia games, and of course, um, um, daily meetings where we are able to share what we have done for the day. So I'm very much interested to welcome and accept applications. Okay, so you just have to submit an application letter. Why would you want to join the lab? And your resume containing the skills that you have right now. Like, say, for example, what can you contribute to the laboratory? So also, although there might be preferences on those who have background or experience working with Python web frameworks. Okay, so there will be priorities to that, as well as selected lang po, no, selected and limited lang ang number of trainees that we will be accepting in the laboratory. Okay, so ayun. So hopefully you can join the laboratory. Ayun. Ito lang, Ma'am Nanette. Thank you, Ma'am.
Thank you, Ma'am Christine. So, again before mag-apply, dapat makasubmit muna ng mga requirements because may mga dapat requirements before mag-start ang application. Yes, Neil.
Yes, there's
Nadawat ninyo, ma'am.
Yes, there's a preference.
Mo?
Okay, I will give a priority kay limited lang man no ang number of trainees na dawato na namo sa lab. So preferences will be given, of course, to those who are have knowledge with Python web frameworks. But if not, like, say, for example, napakalain na mo offer, no, for the laboratory, especially if we've seen that of course we will do this is a training, so you will be trained as well to do something in the laboratory. So basta ang is there will be preference for Python web frameworks katong na I skill with regards to development sa Python web frameworks, either Django or Flask. Requirement nato sa laboratory, develop a product, so that can be a web application or a simple script Okay, so pwede siya script lang ang buhaton or a full-blown na web application. Okay, so and then a research paper. Okay, so kana siya ang kuan jud ang required. So researchers that can write are very much welcome. Okay. Okay, so hopefully maka-receive ko og application from you guys.
Daghan nag-interested, ma'am. No worries.
Yay.
O any more concern? Clarification, questions? Sir Ian, sir.
Hello, ma'am. Good morning.
Morning, sir.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, nag-agree me ako, si Sir Chris, si Sir Clyde, o si Ma'am Christine na we will be integrating into one assessment the programming and multimedia assessments.
So, unsay mahitabo niya, sir?
Bali, ma'am, it's diba kay for group man to, ma'am, no? For groups man to ang atong gi-create.
Yes.
So we can stick with the schedule katong Monday pa to, ma'am, basta 11 and last day ba sila ang multimedia?
Tuesday.
Last day,
Yes,
last
sir.
day ang multimedia.
Oh, okay rami nga as is ang schedule, ma'am, pero what will happen is that per group tagaan sila og whole day. So murag mahulog, ma'am, sa katong
So, dili
11.
na
I think
siya
mo tong first day.
mulakaw.
Yes, ma'am. Balik katong first day,
So,
ma'am.
dili na si uli,
Murag 2 groups na lang mi per day, ma'am. So for example, katong 11, 2 groups lang mong i-accommodate. They will be given the entire day to finish
Pero
the
sir,
assessment.
sir? Okay.
Ang
Sir, ang na to ana is allowed ba sila na liha sila mukaon or something kay mag-whole day sila?
ato lang siguro i-arrange, ma'am. Anyway, na may limited lang na number of students pod, no?
Maybe we can
Masasid sila mga on?
na to siguro
Classroom?
ang i-book ang katong
Ang rooms na lang, ma'am, sa kung dili
katong training center de Sir Ian.
murag mas lisod to manggod ma'am, lisod manggod to basta ipagamit. Kay maupod to normally ang ginagamit pag naay mga kanang activities nga ang participants kay outside the school. So what we can
Classroom
do
na lang
siguro
sa third floor?
classroom na lang sa third floor. Musig i-limit lang nato into one group or tungaon pag yun nato ang group further into one room to avoid overpopulation.
Sige sir, i-discuss lang nato kay kay Sir Eric if
Yes, ma'am. Muadto man ko og ma'am. Muadto ko og eskwelahan karong hapon. So I'll talk to Sir Eric initially, and then once okay na siya, mangutana ko kay kinsa nato address ang request nga pwede nato mapastay ang mga estudyante for lunch.
Okay, kay murag ang amo mong gilikayan sir is that magdugay si student sa school kay basig tapok ana good, that's why na mo siya sa afternoon. Pero sige lang, if possible siya, okay ra po siya, at least murag mugamay ang diba?
Yes, ma'am, para
Sige,
kay
sir, ana lang.
Oo, pero i-raise na ko kay Sir Eric
pa na siya?
Yes, ma'am, yes, ma'am. Pero sa amo ang end, okay na mi. Nagahulat na lang mi sa approval ni Sir Eric kung musugod siya. Mag-stick mi dito sa isahon na lang namo among output. Bali i-integrate na namo ang output sa duha ka assessment para dili mura og magduble-duble gan ang trabahoon sa estudyante.
Ana lang po. Sige lang, pa nato na siya sa...
Yes, ma'am. Mo update ko nimo, ma'am, kung saan man galing ang iingon pod ni Sir Eric.
Okay, sige.
Sige, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Thank you. So for the meantime, as is lang atong schedule, and then wala pa may changes. So we will just update you kung ano ang final na decision. Okay? Any other concern? Yes, Danel.
Ma'am, kuha pa may nag-OJT na uniform na ma'am para atong sa senior sa una or dili na?
Well, as of the moment, wala namang good seniors form na available. Okay? Pero nanay mga initial talk na kunari pwede ba daw ta mag ug ato ang sarili na kanang murag t-shirt lang ba or polo shirt para maano lang, pero wala pa gyud siya final decision kung unsa gyud ang may tabo. Nabagita uniform kay mananghid pa man pud ta sa admin if mag-okay sila. Mag-ulat lang gyapon ta sa final decision nila. Okay, update lang gyapon ta mo.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Yes. Okay, salamat po. Yes, Nicole. Yes, i-upload na ko tanan ang presentation sa classroom as well as the recording. Ang pin?
Uniform daw.
Ang uniform po, ma'am. Nabatay ka ng college na t-shirt na pareho tatanan? Naba mo? Wala. Jeno?
Dili na masakto, ma'am. 2018 pa to. 2019 pa to.
Ma'am, pagsunod pa lang sa sleeve, ma'am, dito lang jud kutob.
Ako lang program shirt ba?
Ay, pwede man siguro, ma'am, like program shirt or kanang yellow shirt, wag lang kanang color
Dapat-
sa PCS.
Ha?
Amo, ma'am.
Sige lang, mag-update ko. I-ask lang po ako si Sir Eric kung unsa bang pwede na to. Pag civilian lang ba or dapat pare-pareho gud natay marag may uniform ba ang color para at least dali ra gud nato ma-identify. Jeno, mag-exercise ka?
Ano, ma'am, nag-water therapy naman ko, ma'am.
Sige, mag-update lang ko kung sa gid ang na final na attire nato during assessment. Ha? Wala na
Yes,
yung other
ma'am.
concern?
Ma'am, na yun po yung number of hours yung sa certificates po.
Ay, tama. Wait lang. Ay, wait lang ha. Mag-present. Wait.
About sa nameplate or pin, mag siguro mag-update lang po sa inyo, ha? Okay? Angelo?
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Makita na? Hindi mo. Wait lang, mali. Wait lang ha. Wait lang din. Mali ko. Sige ito, Excel drive. Wait lang ha, paitawon sa lang ko. Makita. Okay. Nahinay ako ng slides. Nahinay. Okay. Makita na? Hello.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So we have 4 different types of certificates for crediting. Sa seminars, maximum of 8 hours. So even if dagang kay kag seminar gatanan, the maximum allowed credits lang would be 8 hours. Okay? Pag resource speaker ka, that's 1.5 hour. If you're a facilitator or organizer, 1 hour. Participants, 30 minutes. Work, competition, and conference, maximum credit hours is 24 hours. Pag workshop ka, if you're a trainer, 2 hours. Organizer, facilitator, 1.5 hours. Participant, 1 hour. Competition, if you're facilitator, 1.5. Participant, 2 hours. Winner, 4 hours. Conference, presenter, 2 hours. Facilitator, organizer, 1 hour. Participant, 1/2 hour or 30 minutes. Maximum creditable hours for NC, kana ganing ginatake ninyo sa TESDA, 2 hours. If you have deployed projects, you created a system, tapos kanang gigamit siya, that's 40 hours na credit. But dapat na siya letter of acceptance from the company. Aside from the certificate. Okay? Any question? Upload yapon ako ni siya sa classroom. Yes, Danel?
Ano ako question, ma'am? Ma'am, sa NC, ma'am po, kanang possible ba, ma'am, kung nag-take ko ani kay senior high then pasa ko tapos until 2028 man akong certificate. Possible ba na siya, ma'am? NC sa ICT animation po. Opo. Until 2028 siya.
Pero ang mag-expire siya until 2028, pwede na siya.
Opo. Ay, thank you, ma'am.
Diba, until 2028 pa.
Okay, thank you po.
Okay. Si Karel?
Ma'am, what if sa competition good na winner nga side, ma'am? Kung tayo placer lang, ma'am.
So ma'am.
Tayo placer lang, ma'am.
Placer? Pero apila siya. Winner gapon. Ana?
Winner gapon siya, included.
You won the competition, pero siya? Gani, kay asa man siya na, murag third placer, something like that? Oh, winner lang gapon.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Pwede ra gyapon siya. Apil siya.
Winner gyapon
4
ka,
hours.
Karel.
Winner ka.
Isa pa ka question, ma'am. Sa projects with acceptance letter, good, ma'am.
Yes.
Kung tayo sa private company, may nagbuhat og project, ma'am. O, pwede to siya, ma'am.
No problem. Basta naalan siya yung acceptance letter, ha, tapos proof na gi-deploy siya o niya gigamit yun.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay? 40 hours na siya. Isa pa. Any question? Okay, hapit na alas 12. Asa man? Angelo, I can give... Asa man?
They were just asking ma'am about
It's
ano naman
competition daw.
gutoy katong seminars and workshop ma'am na subject ba. Tapos naman gutoy mga so na ito yung seminars and workshop jud siya. So I can only give certificate of attendance sa ilaha. I don't think it will be credited ma'am no. Dili ma'am
pwede.
no. Pwede to siya ma'am?
Pwede siya sa participant, ma'am.
Sa participant?
Sa seminars, hindi mo siya mahulo, participant.
Okay. Sige.
Kung sa mato siya, pila ka, pwede ra gihapon.
Okay. I think 4 workshops to ilahang natin nan. I mean 4 workshops ang nakandak that time. Tapos Tapos katong nagtabang sa GDG na events, I can also give certification for that. Katong nag-facilitate, especially katong nag-host kato. Yes, pwede to, Angelo and Jeno. Yes, yes.
Okay na?
Visits daw. Visits daw na
Publication?
publication.
Basta na certificate. Okay na?
Okay naman.
No more question? Digital certificates, ma-verify siya. Jean? Ma-verify man, verifiable ang digital cert. Oh, okay lang, basta ma-verify. Cisco, pwede ra gyapon. I-submit na tanan ninyong mga certificate. Anyway, we will evaluate the certificates. Okay? Sayang man.
Ma'am, pwede isa lang ka certification akong i-release, ma'am, containing their names.
Pwede. Inana na lang, ma'am. If daghan
Okay.
sila, ano na lang, isa ka certificate, tapos, inana lang nila mga pangalan dito. But, katong mga submit ng mga student, per student ang submission, ha? So, ano lang ninyo to. Okay? Wala na?
Ma'am, or wala na po, ma'am.
Wala na. Sige, Angelo. You lead the prayer.
In the name of the Father, and of the Son, of the Holy Spirit, our Father art in heaven, and be thy name, thy kingdom come, thy will be done, and speak from heaven. First this day, our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. Amen. Amen.
Amen. Thank you very much. Don't forget, ayaw sa daw mughawa ha kay mag-check pa si Sir Troy sa attendance, and then don't forget na ang meeting tomorrow at 10 a.m. for the telemedicine and the psychological testing. Okay, sa mga students na lang. Salamat sa mga faculty na nag-join. Thank you very much. And to the parents also. Thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am.
Pabilin lang ang students, ha. Salamat. Napa si Asma?
Yes, sir. Napa, sir.
Okay. Si Cortez.
Sir.
Cortez. Si Alemania.
Naa, sir.
Alemania.
No, sir, present.
Buot.
Present, sir.
Kiyo.
Present po.
Lalis.
Present, sir.
Prieto.
Present, sir.
Katakutan.
Present, sir.
Larido,
Present, sir.
Barcena,
Present, sir.
Nakar,
Present, sir.
Lagang, Lagang. No, left si, left si Lagang noon. Si Perez,
Sir, present. Present.
si Cañete,
Present, sir.
si Visaya,
Present, sir.
si Sedeño, Joseph, wala. Present si Lagang. Si Joseph Sedeño, wala. Miras,
Sir, present.
Mantesa,
Sir, present. Present, sir.
Mantesa, si Barcelo,
Present, sir.
Barcelo,
Sir, present, sir.
present. Delgado,
Present, sir.
Gulanes, Colomer,
Present, sir.
si Gomera,
Present, sir.
Marquez,
Present, sir.
si Sedeño na ano, si Kabagti,
Present, sir.
Villa Flores,
Present, sir.
Solatorio, Karil, si Karil wala lagi. Si Avila,
Sir, present.
si Solatorio,
Present ko.
Pisao,
Present, sir.
Montaner,
Present, sir.
Roble,
Present, sir.
Dinero,
Present, sir.
Evangelista,
Present, sir.
Fernandez, present no, si Aguhar,
Present, sir.
Kulango, Vlad, si Alvarez,
Present,
present, si
sir.
Alvarez,
Present, sir.
Tugonon, Awa, ang Tugonon. Present eh. Si Genovea,
Present, sir.
Talo,
Present, sir.
Alpas,
Present, sir.
Bandong,
Present, sir.
Umbukan,
Present, sir.
Brina,
Present, sir.
Brina Trumata,
Present, sir.
Magalien,
Present, sir.
Tumpia, Ribayla, Patlonag,
Present, sir.
si Surigao, Nicolas,
Present,
Sino?
sir.
si Palma,
Present, sir.
Villamil,
Present, sir.
Pia,
Present, sir.
Coronado.
Present, sir.
Kisa wala tawag.
Ako, sir.
Kisa, apelido.
Bayakag, sir. Bayakag.
Wala ka nag-attendance?
Ganina, wala, sir.
Sir,
ako po, sir. Wala, sir.
Isa na si
Ferrari, sir.
i-con sa ko ang kuan ha, copy sa attendance ha.
Sige, sir.
naman sa kuan. Late siguro mo no. Sige daw ka na. Isa to si Piraris o si Bayakag lang.
Yes, sir.
So,
Sir, wala gani ko fill up pa ni sir, pero on time ako ganina sir. Wala lang ko
Okay,
naka-fill up.
Sige lang.
Pila pa na lang ko ni Usab, sir, para makita ko, sir.
O sige, Bayakag, kay para na mo'y attendance. Kay pag tanaw na mo wala ka sa orientation, ikaw lang mong i-orient.
Mag-ano na lang kasi mga, sir.
Mag-ano na orientation na ano eh. Sige na, okay na, wala na. Pag kuha na mo Bayakag and kuha kaning tawagan na eh. Si Mana, okay na?
Ako, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay na Piraris, okay na pod?
Yes sir, okay na sir.
Okay, reminders lang ha sa next week at sa assessment. Ay mo magtapok-tapok ha kay padita masita nya come on time. Di lang ta mag dikit-dikit sa ato ang assessment period or assessment time. Okay? Good
Yes,
luck.
sir.
God bless sa inyo. Unta way mga bagsak sa assessment para diretso-diretso.
Kulbaan na, sir.
Ay, kulba.
Sir, makulba naman, sir. Uy.
Ay, kagulba niya. Uy. Sayang daw free trial. Sayang daw free trial. Ingon ni Jean. Ay, mo kakulba ha? At kung lang kaya lagi na.
Carry lang siya, sir.
Makapasa ko lang. Dili multiple choice, oy. Pag sure mo, multiple choice.
Sir, pwede ko makakonfirm, sir.
Yes, Mantesa.
Sa attire sa assessment, sir. Ang sa ganun, sir, casual ba to or ganang mag-uniform mo?
Saan?
Kaya ganang attire sa assessment, sir.
Ang attire daw, lagi daw. I-update lang na mo sa GC kay mangutana sa mi kay nanambok man daw mo.
Yes, sir.
Pasagdan sa kusina siguro ning mga bataan eh. I-asa na mo si Sir Eric kung unsa pwede na tong kuan para ang uban sa inyong uniform di may makasya. So, we will update na lang sa GC. Okay? Okay?
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay, wala na question na. Sige. You can leave the meet na. Salamat sa time.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
32 to 36.
Thank you, sir.
Sige.
Thank you, sir.
Pinasagdan sa kusina, mga bataan eh.
Doon, malang good
Okay,
question,
salamat.
sir.
Good luck
Thank you,
sa
sir.
assessment ha.
Thank
Kung sa inyo ang defense